Hi there, Devin Pike with the Dallas International Film Festival. I'm sitting here with Calvin Reeder, the director of The Rambler, one of the great narrative features here at the festival. And the way I like to describe The Rambler is Lost in America cross-dressed with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's a wild ride. Talk a little bit about the genesis of the project.
It started as a short film, and you can get away with a lot as a short. There are no boundaries, and I wanted to carry that into a feature. And I love the West, so I wanted to explore that with a lot of mystery.
Talk a little bit about the cast on the flick, because Dermot Mulroney doesn't necessarily get to go wild with his character choices, and it seemed like it was a great fish out of water thing to use him as your protagonist.
It was. It wasn't something that I had conceived of in advance. When we had the short go out to the festivals in 2008, I had a feature script that went along with it. Periodically, people were interested, but interest would always fade away. When Dermot Mulroney's name came up, and we had a mutual friend, and we got him the script. Dermot called me pretty quickly after that, and we've been buddies ever since. He's a deep weirdo. A lot of the movies he's known for do not do much to, it doesn't do him any favors. That's not who he is. Yeah.
Have you had any interest in just like doing a side project with him? Just like, hey, I've got a weekend, let's just shoot an experimental short, because it seems like the guy who'd be really up for something like that.
I think you're right, and I have thought about that. I haven't used that card yet. Since he's a busy actor, it's kind of hard to do that, but I think I'll end up doing that someday. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the hallucination sequences, because when you're dealing with a limited budget, you're never going to be able to fully get what's in your head on screen unless you're Terry Gilliam, and which he excels at for something like that. When you were mapping those sequences out, talk a little bit about how you figured you were going to get them on screen.
Yeah, you just have to be very prepared. And like you said, you have to know that your budget is limited, and more than budget, it's time. Time is the killer, because you have time, you can make something look great even if you have no money. But when you're doing several company moves a day, maybe not several, but 1 to 2, and that means you have a very limited time to pull off the visuals. So you got to go in with a plan, and then when you see it working, use that instead of it doesn't look enough like how I initially imagined. It's like, this is the magic that we have today, and we better take this because we got to go. So that's kind of how that goes down.
How long of a shoot did you have plotted?
It was a 20-day shoot.
And you pretty much were able to stick to it because you were able to get everything plotted down for the day.
Yeah. We tried to be as prepared as possible, because it was a real opportunity to finally make the film, and to not go unprepared would have been a waste.
How much did the script change from when you were shopping it around along with the short to actually getting it in front of the camera?
I don't think it changed that much. I think it got funnier by the time it got to there, because I think I had so much time with it, where I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking, he should say this. Stuff like that happened, and then that would lead to strange little tweaks of the story. But pretty much, yeah, that feature has been that for a while. But yeah, tweaks.
When you're looking at getting this film out of the film festival realm, because you premiered at Sundance, had a great showing at South by Southwest, and I used to hate asking this question, but with digital distribution, there are more avenues for films that don't always have a great studio backing. What are you looking at getting The Rambler out with?
Well, we were lucky enough to have Anchor Bay put it out, so we do have a limited theatrical, but that's only going to last about a week. I'm very much looking forward to having it be on the whole VOD channel, because I think that's where indie films are discovered these days. It seems like that's where they're making their money back, but more importantly, that's where people who are being, people who are interested in films are taking risks, and I'm going to be adventurous. I don't have to leave my house, and it's right there. My only issue with that is most people don't have a very good sound system in their house. Usually they have just little TV speakers. I wish people would go out to the theater just to experience the film for what it is, sonically. Do
you feel that the people who aren't going to get a chance to see it in theatrical are getting cheated from a lot of the film experience because they're watching on a 40 or 50-inch screen at home off their Apple TV?
I think that you can watch it on a normal screen size and feel pretty good about it. I just always drill home the sound. It's like if there's any way you can make it sound good, do that, and then I think you'll get the full experience. Obviously, if you get it big, it's immersive, but I don't think you'll miss anything as long as the sound is there.
Did you have any kind of social media outreach while you were in production to build an audience for the film as you were getting ready to wrap on production?
No, I hid. I completely hid. I didn't do on Facebook or Twitter. I just.
Is that not something that you feel is a necessary component on production? Because a lot of filmmakers are either one side or the other on the fence with it.
I honestly, I look at it as a little bit of a vain thing. Like, I think people are like, hey, look at me, day 2, I got a thing, or like, hey, look, finish the script. I don't do that. I don't understand what they're trying to get across with that information, because when you do have a film at these bigger film festivals, you end up having a lot of people you don't know on your social media outlets. So I try to make the things I say either funny or meaningful. I just don't see the point of like updating constantly.
Now that the Rambler is done and you've given birth to it, it's out there in the world. What's next for you?
I have 3 projects. I guess we just got to see what wins. I'm a writer probably more than anything else, so there are 3 features and a TV show that could go. We'll see. You just got to see what wins, because all those things could easily not go, and then I have to start at the drawing board.
Any thoughts of putting the Rambler as part of like a 10-part series, maybe? Getting to stretch the narrative a little bit?
Yeah, I have thought of that a lot. I'm not sure where else I could take it, because it's already been 2 shorts that have played here, and now it's a feature. So it's like I could, get those hat and glasses back on, maybe call up Dermot for a 10-part series, see what he wants to do.
Just run around in the desert for a couple hours,
That's true. That's true. It's a possibility. I think about it from time to time.
What's your memory of the Dallas International Film Festival as being somebody who's been here before and now bringing the feature here?
Oh, I love it. My memory of this is always like one of my favorite festivals that follows Sundance, because I've been lucky enough to usually premiere there. And this is probably my favorite one that follows Sundance. I've always loved Dallas. Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing the feature here, and it's good to actually see the full-length version of it. It's a really entertaining flick, and thank you so much for bringing it out. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Check for more stuff at dallasfilm.org for all of the festival interviews you're seeing, as well as red carpet coverage and all the rest of the film schedules. Right here at dallasfilm.org, I'm Devin Pike with the Dallas Film Society. Thanks.